everybody, it's Jaiya.
And Ian.
And we've been doing a 52-week sex life makeover here on YouTube. Hopefully you've been checking that out. We've covered topics such as your erotic blueprints. We did things like the 7 barriers to having a hot, passionate, amazing sex life. And most recently, we covered what are erotic possibilities. What are all the different kinds of orgasms you might be able to have.
How can you live in an orgasmic state 24 hours a day? So if you want to find out those juicy details, just go back, check out all those videos. And for everything we're talking about, you're going to want to check out what kind of erotic personality type you are. So you go back to those first 6 videos, and you can go to our website, MissJaiya.com, and you can take a quiz and find out.
Figure that out. All right, so it is now 2016. Happy New Year! And we wanted to talk a little bit about getting what you want. But what's important here is it's not about just getting what you want and uncovering what you want, but it's also about being committed to what you want for your relationship and your sex life in 2016. So I want you to ask yourself that question. What am I committed to getting in 2016? Our friend Raul Villiasis says, you don't get what you want, you get what you are committed to. So you've got to make a commitment first and foremost. So what are you committed to in 2016? The next piece is having your sex life by design versus default. I see too many people who let their sex life fall into default mode, and default mode for most people is not good. What's our default mode?
Our default mode is, oh, we're busy, we're tired, there's too much going on, we're stressed out, and I'm not getting enough sleep, so I'm just going to go to sleep tonight. That's default.
That's default mode. So sex life by design is much more exciting. We're going to talk about that in our next video, but first order of design is really your goal setting. Now, I want to share with you my process for goal setting at the beginning of every new year. I get a journal. And this is my journal devoted to manifestation. It's all the things I want to manifest, create in the year. And in it, I start by writing out, this is 2015, I've got 2016 in here too. I write out 100 goals.
Now, I want to say to the people who are not necessarily overachievers and A-type personalities, like my great lover here, that 100 goals may feel overwhelming for some of you. So you can start with 1, or you can start with 5, or you can start with 20. And one of the things I want to distinguish as well is the goals that Jaiya sets are not all monstrous, I'm going to take over the world kind of goals. Some of them are really, really, really simple. They could be as simple as something like, I'm going to make sure to really experience a sunset on a beach in 2016. Or what are some of the other simple ones?
I'm going to take a yoga class, or I'm going to floss my teeth.
So one of these things, they can be, right, like little simple primers for the things that you've never done or the things you've always desired to do. And it's a way of putting them in your calendar, putting them in your consciousness, so you are going to make them happen in 2016.
And I set out different categories. So I might have relationship goals, business goals, family goals. There are all different kinds of goals in those 100 goals. You might just want to do some for like 25 for your relationship. Like, for example, I like to do a romantic trip with Ian, and that was one of the things, is to do a 4-day unplug with Ian, where we go somewhere awesome and just be together without any computers and cell phones.
And if you know anything about our sex life challenges, you could put your sex life challenges into your calendar, and that's a way of making a challenge. So like, I have an ongoing sex life challenge with Jaiya, which
We're going to talk about that in the next video.
Yeah, so
we're not going to tell him.
Okay.
Don't tell him.
Okay.
Secrets.
A little mystery.
Yes.
Suspense.
Next video, we'll tell you all about our challenges.
All right.
But for now, back to goal setting. So
yes.
Goal setting, he's going to go down giving you too much. Okay, so goal setting, I also then take each goal and I write out underneath it why I want it. And I think the why is really, really important. So for example, goal number 2 for 2015 was to do a family vacation to Harry Potter Land for my son's birthday. Now there's not a big why for me other than making my son super, super happy. So one of the things I wove into that goal was also doing some kind of contribution around going to Harry Potter Land, because actually going to Harry Potter Land is my worst nightmare on the whole universe. So I felt like it would make it better if on the tail end we did some stuff with some manatees. We went to an animal rescue place and looked at the dolphin who lost his tail.
He's a very sweet dolphin.
Very sweet dolphin.
So I want to emphasize the whole thing about the why that comes up around goal setting, because you can say, I want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds. And then that can just become like another thing of overwhelm or another thing to do unless you establish the why. The why is the driving force. It's the thing that's going to keep you committed to that outcome, to that goal that you're going to get. So if you want to lose 20 pounds just because you want to look good in a swimsuit in June, well, by the time May rolls around, maybe your motivation's not so great to make that happen. What other whys are there for you? Maybe it's about your health and your vitality. Maybe it's about how much energy you wake up with in the morning. So the more you can build up the powerful why behind a goal, the more likely it is to really take root, and you're going to have that stamina to really stick through with it.
So there's my why, there's my budget. So Harry Potter Land, I went way over budget when I look at my budget here. What I had to do, like planning, like tickets, time I had to set aside in my calendar for that week. Setting up time to maybe get a speaking gig before or after so that I could tie it in somehow to work. So I had different things that I could do around that would make it more likely to happen, or a list of to-dos around that goal.
And what this also points to, you can hear that Jaiya is laying out how many hours something's going to take, how much money it's going to take. So these are the real hard and fast things that she's going to have to come up with, do, or dedicate in her schedule to make that goal a reality.
And
right?
We made it a reality. We had an awesome, amazing trip. Our son was ecstatic because he loves Harry Potter.
Memories for a lifetime.
We created lots of magic moments for him for his birthday. It was awesome. And it was all because of my handy dandy goal setting process that I do every year. So we want to know, what are your goals for 2016? So let us know below. Write your big whys. And I want it specifically not to be random goals. I want these to be around your sex life and your relationship, because this is a sex life makeover. So what are the goals in 2016 for your sex life and your relationship? Put them below. We want to hear all about it.
I would love for you to actually put a date by when, and I'd also like you to put your first action step. So what's the first thing you're going to do to set you on the path to having that thing you're committed to?
Awesome. Okay, until next time. Well, wait a minute. We got to subscribe
somewhere,
and some likes,
right?
and
give us a like,
all that kind of good stuff, and comments.
And next week we're going to go into another aspect of goal setting, where some things that Jaiya and I do to make that to help us succeed in getting our goals.
He gave you a little preview.
I did.
It's the sex life challenges, so you want to make sure you check that out, because it's our #1 thing that keeps us hot and juicy and passionate.
That's right.
All right. Until next time, fill your life with pleasure.